Hello and welcome back! We're getting back to business. Let's go! Where is the button? Where is the button? It's right in front of me. But before we go right into the leveling, check this out. I did a slight modification to the starting soon screen, and now we have a proper switching games screen for on the days where we switch around games. Isn't that exciting? I think it's exciting. I had a heck of a time dealing with the GIF for switching games. It was not easy. Although, if you were present for the stream the other day, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I was fighting for my life. It accidentally saved as a WebP, which is by far the most useless format on the planet, in my opinion. I hate that thing. But I was able to fix it, so now I have it working properly. I'm very happy about that. But I got that squared away, and I was like, you know what? Instead of just having that there and then turning off the console gameplay screen, why not have a switching games scene in OBS instead? You know? Might actually work out. Turns out, it'll definitely work out a lot better, because the more I think about it, I'm gonna need to port that to my desktop for eventual things. Although that's gonna be really tricky. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Maybe the laptop will forever be the streaming PC, which is really hilarious if you know the fact that this thing is basically the one time I played Destiny 2 on this laptop, it was fighting for its life and crashed when the cutscenes tried to play. Otherwise, it worked just fine. It's quite the tank for being a little bit of a mess. But hello, welcome back to the stream. For anybody who's not familiar, I am YellowFame42, and I am doing a, I'm going to get to level 99 before I beat up Twilight Thorn run. And the reason why I'm letting these dusks beat the tar out of me is because of the ability experience boost. Now, when I'm at half health or less, this allows me to get double the XP, which is extremely useful because instead of getting 4 XP, I get 8 XP. And of course, because of that shenanigan, I have gotten disturbingly good at math, specifically with 4s and 8s. And the other day, like a few weeks back, like right before Thanksgiving, I started to get a little obsessive over it, thank God for the break, because oh my gosh, I was starting to get really weird about numbers. It's over, it's fixed, thank goodness. But yeah, that's the current situation. And based on the amount of XP we currently have, which is about 4,800, we should be able, with probably a little bit of an extra push, be able to make it to level 42 tonight. That is the intention of tonight's stream. I am trying to get to level 42. I don't want to delay it too long. So that's where we're at. For anyone who missed the New Year's Day stream, was it the New Year's Day? Oh my goodness, that was a Thursday. That was indeed the day. One second, gotta cough my lungs out real quick. I am so glad that I can just easily mute myself for those instances. That really hurt. But yeah, let's see, what was I saying? I was saying something about the New Year's thing. But yeah, New Year's was great. It went well. Replaced a pair of earbuds that my old earbuds were basically static emitters, and that was not fun. Let me tell you, trying to listen to music or trying to take a phone call when your earbuds are also broadcasting static, it does not work. It is very horrid. So yeah, that should be good, and I'm going to take extra good care of my new set of earbuds, and I'm very happy to have them. I was actually just using them to listen to music a little bit before the stream started. I'm like, ah, this is nice. This is real nice, real nice. So it's been great. It's been great. What else? We also started a run of BBS, or Birth by Sleep, called Birth by Sleep Roulette, in which I play Birth by Sleep with my older controller, which has a little bit of a defect on it, and I don't know if it's just because I pressed the right trigger too hard too many times or something like that, but long story short, it sticks after a while of playing. So it makes the command deck spin and it can make the boss fights and any set of mob fights, anything that requires precision with the command deck, very difficult. I'm playing as Terra, by the way, on standard mode. It was very funny. It was a very, very funny stream to start off the year. We aren't doing that tonight just because I do want to make some level progression tonight. I very much do. And the other reason is that eventually I'm going to have to deal with the Rumble Racing section. I only did it once last stream, and I was that close to rage quitting already just looking at it. I'm just like, I just remembered one of the things I hated about Terra's story. It's the racing game where you have to be in first place. It's so annoying. So yeah, after one, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna move on to a different world and not go insane. So yeah, my personal plan is to take care of the Rumble Racing off stream, so then I do not give myself, not necessarily a heart attack. I don't think I'm susceptible to heart attacks, but I just really don't want to do that. There's a certain level of rage I can, like, that can be conceivably funny before it starts getting concerning. Unfortunately, I think mine is a low threshold, so I'm not gonna play games with that. We're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy the games, not drive ourselves crazy with. How the heck did I do that entire thing on crit? I mean, technically speaking, the only thing I had to worry about was just getting in first place. It's literally just a racing game. I think I have a whole video where I rage about it. Hang on, let me look, actually. It's on my YouTube channel. I also have one of the boss fights. It's in the videos. Oh no! No, I don't have, wait, no. Do I have it? Where would I have put it? I would have put it in the Kingdom Hearts Shenanigans playlist. Where's the Kingdom Hearts Shenanigans? Oh. No, wait, that's a quest for level 99 highlights. Where are you? Where did you go? Where did my playlist for that go? This is what I get for having too many music playlists. Pain. Give me the formula. Hang on a second. I got a better magic trick. There we go. Jeez. Oh, yep, there it is. It's when I was quoting Lemon Demon. It's like the 5th or 6th, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th video down. Either way, I've raged about it before. Still drove me nuts. Gosh, racing games. At least I had a pretty good handle on it. Just at the very end, I basically choked at the end, so that really sucked. I was just like, no, now I have to deal with that all over again. It's like 5 laps of nightmare fuel. I'm not, these old bones, they don't work like they used to, and unfortunately, yeah, not fun. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna deal with the Rumble Racing offline because I do not want that. I've already done it once. We don't need to do it again. We don't need a part 2 of that. Whew. Just thinking about it makes me rage. And I'm not even raging that much. Quite the party. Alright, what else is... There's not really much that's changed over the weekend. I did some writing, again, of course. As I do. I write as I do, and it was fun. I'm not quite satisfied with how things are going though, because I feel like I'm just doing things because it happened in the previous draft, but I've changed a couple of things slightly from the previous draft, so now it kind of makes a little less sense, and I feel like this is the point where it diverges. Plus, I've noticed that the main character, kind of changes quite drastically between like the first chunk and then these chapters that I'm like working off of right now. I'm like, that doesn't seem right. I mean, I get that I changed quite significantly between drafts and stuff, but still, I'm like, I need this to make sense for why the characters would react this way, and maybe I just need to let the characters drive in this particular instance. Things tend to work out better when the characters drive. Does it mean that I end up not having moments written? Yes, but does it fit better with the story? Absolutely. Every time. Trust the characters to lead the way. So I'm gonna have to punch through and delete like 400 words or something like that. It's not too bad. I've deleted and cryogenically frozen some sections of story. There was this one time I was working on a different story, and there was like a huge like couple of chapters that I was like, I don't think so. Maybe I need to have more of this happen for these characters. And I'm like, as I was writing it, it just kept getting worse and worse, and I'm like, oh no. And I was very glad that I cryogenically froze, aka just copy-pasted to another document, the original version of the chapters, because I ended up liking how those turned out in the first place. It's like, yeah, okay, we don't get to see some of the cool moment things, but one, it's like a single point of view, I'm not jumping POVs, and two, technically, I will be able to deliver fully in terms of like a side story type thing for me. But I was like, this is ending up breaking the flow of the narrative and stuff, and it'll end up breaking up the pacing. Which, yeah, I had to trust the characters with that, and it was very difficult to trust them. It makes it sound like they're super sentient, as if I can't control how the characters play. But I think what should actually be said when it's like, oh, my characters didn't want to do this, oh, they did something else. It's more of, well, the way that I've written these characters, it does not make sense for them to take these specific actions now. Now that I've actually written them out and taken them on this journey, it does not make sense for them to do this action or react this specific way. They would think of this thing instead. They would try out this thing instead. And I think that's a better way of saying how like characters behave in a way. You're focusing on how the characters react. Like, they're not controlling your entire life or anything like that. Now that's a little overboard. Or they might slightly derail what you initially have planned for the narrative, but sometimes it just ends up working out way better if you let the characters guide the plot. Because I've seen plenty of stories where the plot is messy as hell, but the characters are fantastic, so it makes the silly generic plot all the more worth it. And then, but if the characters aren't really that great, the plot has to be like really good to be able to get invested, and even then it's just, you don't get invested in the characters as much because they kind of suck or something like that, you know? That sort of thing. Writing is fun. It's lots of fun. Yeah. I was thinking about writing related choices for a lot of stories. Like with Birth by Sleep, I was like, I don't feel like there's enough evidence for Terra to seemingly be going closer to the darkness or whatever. Like the thing with Aurora, that was like, that he was practically like forced to do that, possessed to do that. So it didn't feel right, and he was like, no, that's freaking terrible, why did you make me do that? Like, he didn't want to do it in the first place and stuff, and that sort of thing. It's just like, okay, the kid has some anger issues and stuff, maybe like some level of like guilt that feels very close to religious type guilt. Is Terra's arc just like religious guilt spiraling thing? Is that what it is? I'd need to analyze this storyline a lot more and think about it through a lot more. It's kind of like when you're that kid who, like everybody's like, ah, you're trouble, you're trouble, you're trouble, and you're like, okay, fine, fine. I will be trouble, and I will be the worst trouble ever. Although he's not really doing that. He's still trying to be good despite that. Poor kid. Even though Terra's not really a kid, he's almost an adult. I think he is canonically an adult in the storyline. They don't specifically say the ages in game, but I think I've heard... It's supposedly confirmed that he's like 20, Aqua's 18, and Ben is 16 or something like that. I can't remember the specifics. Those are the supposed confirmed ages of the characters. But like, I was thinking about it and I was like, okay, I feel like if I spoke Japanese, I might be able to understand Terra's descent into darkness a little bit better, because it feels like there's some non sequiturs and just the plot kind of pushing him along into what is eventually his tragedy and stuff like that. I feel like I'm missing some gaps here. You know? I do understand that runtime on a PSP is not, although there are some long freaking games on the PSP, if I remember right. Either way. That does depend though on the type of games though, because visual novels can be long, but they don't take up as much space, even though with like choices in dialogue, it's not like it's running massive complicated animations half the time, or 100% of the time with active controls. I don't know. That's a tough call, actually. Ooh. My spine is deciding to scream at me today. Just the lower part of my spine. It's okay. I was also thinking about this in terms of, well, okay, so you know how Stranger Things ended. Maybe not everyone knows how it ended, but I am aware of its ending, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I only watched up to season 2. When season 3 started, I kind of had already forgotten about it and not been as very invested. Because I was like, okay, 1 and 2, okay, doors closed, cool, everybody gets to chill. And I'm like, oh wait, there's a season 3 of this now? Okay, I guess. And then I never actually sat and watched the season because I had lost my ability to watch the scary stuff, like even the mildly scary stuff, for a while. I got lucky to watch the first 2 seasons in the time that I did. It was the same with Castlevania, where I could actually like tolerate any sort of the violent score type stuff on screen. Like nowadays, I probably won't be able to do it, unfortunately. But it is what it is. It's a trade-off. Anyway, so the way that some of the fans are like trying to handle what happened with the finale is very strongly reminding me of, well, for one, it's giving Voltron fans flashbacks to the ending of Voltron and how unsatisfied they were with that. Not so much with Game of Thrones, but the way that there's a lot of, like, what was it called? Conformity gate or something? It's a theory that there's gonna be another, like, a sort of, like, some people are saying secret episode of finale, and all I can think of is how badly BBC Sherlock ended, and how the last episode of the season 4 of BBC Sherlock was just so bad that Sherlock fans assumed there was going to be a secret episode after that, because there's no way they ended it like that. I'm getting flashbacks to that era, which, coincidentally enough, BBC Sherlock is also a series that I ended up not watching after, I think, the 2nd season. That was only 6 episodes, by the way, so it's even shorter than Stranger Things by the time they both finish their 2nd season or whatever. And they both have the commonality of years between episodes and the commonality of like the fan base sort of being geared towards paying attention to details to try to solve the mystery and stuff. And frankly, a lot of them, and they both have parallels of being disappointed by the writers. They have a lot of hilarious parallels, and also some of them not as hilarious because it's reminding me of the coping that happened post Sherlock, and then a little while afterwards, a lot of people are like, "Wow, Moffat was kind of an asshole." Especially to the fan base. He was kind of a dick to the fan base. I don't think he liked the fact that a lot of women were fans of BBC Sherlock. I think he was expecting more people like him or some shit. Anyway. And they kept making fun of the fans and their theorizing, especially after the Reichenbach Fall episode. I'm just like, dude, it's a mystery show. Of course people are gonna frickin' theorize and come up with all sorts of theories. Why are you a dick? Come kick your ass myself. You suck as a writer. Let the kids theorize. It's fun. It's okay for them to be wrong. It's okay for them to be right. Like, okay, I wrote, I've been writing a mystery web novel. I'll leave it at that. A mystery web novel. I freaking love when my readers guess some of the plot points that are coming up. I get so joyous when they guess it because I'm like, yes, 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 I'm doing my job right. And sometimes the readers end up interpreting it in some other way, and I'm like, holy shit, I never thought of it that way. That's awesome. Like, please let your readers be right. It's okay that they're right about the story. That means you are doing your job correctly. Of course your readers are gonna be smart and paying attention. You are writing a mystery. They're gonna figure it out. Don't just do some stupid ass rug pull. We're looking at you, Marlene King. Oh, I think that's her name. The showrunner for Pretty Little Liars. God, that was such a freaking... That was such a dumpster fire. Holy shit. Pretty Little Liars got so convoluted towards the end. And I mean, the books themselves get a little bit chaotic, but there was an ending. And I guess, you know what, I'll have to read them myself to properly judge whether they made sense. But Pretty Little Liars got so freaking unhinged towards the end. It's just like, okay, throw out the details, forget these plot points, we're introducing this, but then we're never picking up on it again. Like, bro. I love how I'm ranting about mysteries and writers trying to be smarter than their watchers. It's just like, this is a privilege. This is an absolute privilege to have people theorizing and figuring out actively. That means they're invested. That means they enjoy your show. They're invested. They want to see it succeed. Those are your hardcore supporters. And you're trying to pull the rug under them? What is wrong with you? For the sake of the conformity gate theory supporters, I really freaking hope that there's another episode on the 7th for you guys. Otherwise, there's gonna be a freaking riot of some sort. It's gonna be so bad. I do not want to witness whatever mass psychosis might come if it turns out that yes, that was indeed the last episode and the ending just was that. I hope for y'all's sakes that there is another surprise episode at the end, but I've played these games before. I've seen this. I know how this ends. I know how this goes. Oh, I am not looking. Oh, yeah. No, I feel very, very sympathetic to a lot of the Stranger Things fans who have been disappointed. 'Cause y'all Y'all deserve a satisfying conclusion. Especially after waiting that long for season 5. Like, how long was that? Like, 5 years between season 4 and 5? I don't remember the exact timing. Like I said, I dropped the series for myself after season 2 because I was like, okay, I feel satisfied about the conclusion. We're good. Cool. Bye. Yeah. But, yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yep, rule number 1, don't try to constantly outsmart your viewers, just stick with your plan, trust in your plan, it'll be fine. If they're right, that is good. It's okay to not have readers or watchers be surprised, let them enjoy the ride. Like, for example, roller coasters. You have an expectation for a roller coaster. There's gonna be, like, they can look at it, they see how it goes, they know what they're getting into, they expect the loop-de-loops, the drops. Part of the fun is the anticipation of seeing it coming. Like with silent films, a lot of older silent films, like with the pushing the piano up the stairs, you know that piano is going down the stairs, but you don't know exactly when it's gonna happen. Like, the anticipation of an event is way more intense, and it's way more satisfying and fun to experience than it is when it's just piano out of nowhere or something like that. Or, I can't remember the exact book or article that gave this example, where there's like 2 different scenarios of a thing. One is just, boom, explosion in the middle of the room, whereas instead of just boom, explosion in the middle of the room, surprise, shock value, it's you go into the scene and you see, and you get the camera pan down to the bomb under the table or something like that. And you see the countdown. It goes between all of the people totally oblivious to the danger that they're in, going back and forth between that countdown. And you're watching it, and you're hoping, please, somebody notice it. Somebody notice it. But deep down, you know, there's no indication that anybody's gonna notice. That bomb is gonna go off. That anticipation, that tension, is way, way more satisfying than just a one-time shock value moment from it just going, everything's fine, da-da-dee, da-da-da, boom, boom! That's it. Like, let the tension build. Build it up. Shock is fine. Shock can be useful for some stories, but it doesn't always work. In the long run, sometimes a slow build just works. Obviously with like short things like or with comedies, the shock, I say with air quotes, that works really well with comedies because you don't expect it. So let's see. Let me see if I can come up with an example. I think this happens a lot in a lot of Looney Tunes where you don't expect something to explode right off the bat. Like, even then, in some Looney Tunes, a lot of, like, the chase ones with, like, the verses, like... Is it Looney Tunes that is, Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner? It's been so long. Or, like, with Bugs. Like, sometimes he just pulls out a bomb, hands it to Elmer Fudd, and, like, speeds away, and Elmer Fudd is like, wait a minute, and then boom. Like, it's just so unexpected. Like, unexpected things can be, like, super hilarious. It's very useful in comedy. But if you want something in drama, yeah, you can do the shock. You can shock people. But it might be better if instead of, like, you might build up and make you think that they're gonna take out this character, it seems like they're going to, but instead, surprise, you take out a different character. But, in hindsight, it makes sense why that character got taken out instead. Maybe they knew something before and there were signs of that. It is very important to build up to that shock value instead of it coming out of nowhere. Because then otherwise you just get the complaints of, it came out of nowhere. This is stupid. And you don't... If you want your watchers and viewers to be smart, or think that you're smart, you build on what you already have. That is a very important thing, and you don't try to do some stupid rug pull bullshit to try to outsmart them. No, don't do that. Bad behavior. Don't do that. Whack you with a newspaper. Misbehavior. Goodness sakes. build on it. Please. It will make the story make sense, and it brings people back to it because they'll want to rewatch it again and again and again because they're like, oh yeah, I never noticed this detail before. No wonder this specific thing happened. Or, hey, that's a neat thing that the writers did or the set designer did. Or any sort of continuity. It adds to the continuity, it adds to the story, it adds to the retellability and replayability. One-time shock values only work once. After that, rewatchability, not really much of a thing. It's almost a plague that a lot of like films and TV shows seem to have this like tissue mentality of being only one watch, one use, and that's it. Like, okay. Do I spoil this? Do I really spoil this? I don't know if I should spoil this. It's been over a decade. But, okay. I will roundabout spoil this, but not really. For those who know, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If they don't know what I'm talking about, great. You can watch the film and still have some surprise. There's this movie called The Sixth Sense. It is known for having an excellent plot twist. And I've heard, and I still haven't watched it. I know the plot twist. But I am pretty sure that even with knowing the plot twist, I would still enjoy the anticipation, and I would still enjoy with the knowledge of that plot twist in the film, watching the rest of the movie again with that knowledge, it adds a whole new perspective. The only reason I'm not moving right now is because I'm holding my water bottle and I keep talking instead of drinking water. So 1 second, let me just drink a ton. I told you I wasn't joking about the drinking. Oh my gosh, I needed the water bad. But even with the knowledge of that plot twist, I think I would still fully enjoy the film. And shoot, there's like another one that I can't, it's been so freaking, I need to watch more movies again. The point is, you want, if you're a storyteller, the best compliment to you as a storyteller and a creative is hearing that someone wants to watch and read your stories again and again and again. Because that means that they've invested in it, they enjoy it, and that also adds a little bit of like trust between you and the reader. They know if your name's on it, they can trust that they are going to get an excellent experience. You want someone around in the long term by giving them an excellent experience. Am I good at that myself yet in terms of streaming? Probably not yet. I'm still working out things that work for me, things that don't work for me, like scheduling and game choices, how much rage I'm comfortable sharing on stream, that sort of thing. Like, I'm still working that out. I'm like, am I okay with showing that rage? Does it look a little scary sometimes? Maybe I shouldn't share that. Maybe I should keep that off stream because, hey, we're here to have fun. We're here for silly, silly things. Like me basically podcasting doing this while doing a very repetitive task. Doing this repetitive task, by the way, is a very difficult thing. There are some days where I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Why would I put myself through this? And yeah, I always say it's funny, it's hilarious, but I'm like, at the same time, why? Why do I do the same things over and over? I mean, I'm still making progress, but why do I keep going with this? And I'm like, you know what? It's because I want to do this, and my curiosity about this particular thing is not going to be satisfied unless I do it myself. Yeah, I can totally look up somebody else who's probably already done this in some shape or form or another, but it's not going to be as satisfying if I don't do it myself. It's those things. It's the journey thing. Like, shoot, there like I do keep saying like, oh, maybe I should do some offline leveling. But the thing that keeps me from offline leveling is like, no. I want to share the whole journey, not just parts of it, not just the good parts, not just the curated parts, like as if I was making an Instagram profile. I want to share the whole journey because it shows the ups and downs, the many, many, many stories and discussions that I will probably share. There will probably be some repeat stories, but you know what? It's not like everybody hears that story multiple times. Sometimes they hear it for the first time. Sometimes it's just someone stopping by and being like, huh, this is an interesting story. And then they hear the story and they're like, okay. And maybe they never come back. Maybe they do to hear some other weird story or some other weird excerpt. Like me reading the introduction to an old weather book that was published in like 1965 or something like that. It's the little things. It's the little things. I feel like I've lost track of where I'm going. But point is, journey. The journey is just as important as the payoff. Because the journey is what builds up to the payoff. It's what makes the payoff satisfying. So this journey that I'm taking is going to make, when I get to level 99 and I beat the smack out of Twilight Thorn, it's going to make that payoff really good. I am aware, though, that there is a damage cap. I am aware of that. I don't know what the damage cap is. So, at a certain point, the level that I'm at probably won't matter. But it'll still be funny to be beating the tar out of everything at level 99. So, it works. It works. The journey is still there, and the fact of the matter is, I will have an absurd amount of hours on this game by the end. Yeah. Related to this game, and related to journeys, I dug up a few of my attempts to beat up Saïx on my main file. Haven't brought that up in a while, have I? And I was like, I kind of want to make a compilation of all my losses to make it kind of funny. So then that way when I do finally beat him, it will be incredibly satisfying to post it and then have the successful fight at the end. So I've put together like a small amount of them. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a couple of the attempts, but I think the ones that I currently have are satisfactory enough. Whew. Lost my breath there for a second, apologies. So as I eventually, like the next time I attempt to beat up Saïx, I will probably end up just recording it. Because I don't know if I'm going to do that on stream again. That was pretty chaotic, but it was funny. It was very funny. It's also very funny because the attempts that I did on the live streams in this past year are not that different from the attempts that I made in the like early time when I first made my like first 4 attempts to beat Saïx. Like right down to the accidentally going into Valor form. I'm not joking about that. I went into Valor form again and I'm like, haha, parallels. It was pretty funny in all honesty. It was very funny. Yeah, so that journey is going to be excessively satisfying to pay off when I finally beat that SOP. Oh my gosh, I freaking hate Saïx. As soon as I beat Saïx, I am saving the game. I will cry if I have to try to fight him again. I'm serious. I will real tears if I ever have to deal with him again after I beat him. I wonder if I can beat Ansem now. Specifically in KH1. Because the last time I touched KH1, in like my first playthrough was when I beat the last boss gauntlet. And I also have that recording and analysis that I probably still need to redo because frankly I think I should have done it in the same format setup as I did with the first and last Yanhert fights and analysis. I'll do that at I'll do that at a point. Maybe I'll do it I was gonna say later tonight, but I'm like, hon, you're not gonna want to do that later tonight. You are gonna want to go to sleep, because sleep is necessary. Yeah. I wonder if I'll be able to pull it off again. That was really stressful, though. I needed breaks between the boss gauntlet at the end of KH1, and I had support. I had people, moral support, nearby to help me through it and to help me keep focused. That's how bad it was. That was a nightmare. Best part is I recorded the entire thing, and I still remember all of the emotional memory associated with that. It's very funny. It's very funny when, like, even without, like, mic recording my voice, like my voice getting recorded by the microphone, I still remember some of the thoughts, experiences, and emotions from said recordings when I'm playing a game. It does make some, like, this, I just thinking about that, going off that tangent, I still remember there was a specific part, like a specific level of TMNT, where one of the episodes I had trouble recording it because I tried to record it while family was home. Worst fucking mistake of my life, and I say that with my whole chest, by the way, because my siblings kept interrupting me, kept throwing shit in front of the camera. Like, you can tell I'm already getting incensed just thinking about it. I'm getting pissed off just thinking. Like, so when I was like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna record this when I'm by myself, because I don't want to do this when family's around, because they freaking suck, and they're being assholes about it. It's just siblings. Siblings are assholes anyway. They do stupid stuff, and it's just like, bro, I'm trying to do something here. I'm trying to make something, and you suck. Siblings. Can't live with them. For some reason, you also really can't live without him. God dang it. Anyway. So basically later on, I went to record the level when I was finally by myself at home. And I was still feeling pretty dang cranky trying to record it. I'm like, ugh. Blah, blah, blah. And then years later, when I was doing the 2022 edition, the re-recording and stuff like that, I still felt some residual anger and frustration about that, just because of the previously recorded feelings from the years back, so, yeah. Yeah, it's a fun one. Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. It's amazing what doing things at the same time as feeling emotions can do, where it can dredge up old memories and emotions. Like, I still remember one of the times where I first remember meeting one of my cousins. I was eating ramen and being very confused. Because I'm like, who? Because it was like the first time meeting one of my cousins. But I still remember. I was chilling, eating chicken ramen. And I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? And I was really confused. I still remember that. I still associate it with the taste of that chicken ramen. But it doesn't happen quite like that anymore. Because the way I eat ramen now is I just eat it straight from the soup in the bowl. And also the formula for the spice packet changed since then. And also I don't eat chicken ramen anymore because for some reason somehow it got really slimy and gross and I didn't like it anymore. I don't know what the frick they did to the spice packet recipe, but it made it get really slimy and disgusting and I'm just like, ew, get that away from me. Nowadays I tolerate I stick with like the beef flavor. I used to like the soy sauce flavor, but I can't frickin' find it. And I only ever find it when I'm traveling and at some random grocery store like 200 miles away or something like that. And I'm like, there you are. And then I buy like 4 packets and have to ration them so then I can enjoy them again. Although I haven't eaten ramen very much in the past couple of months, I think. I say couple of months because I do remember purchasing and subsequently eating a couple of beef ramen packets. At least last year. But I've also extended my recipe palette. Like, I've already talked about it, the homemade mac and cheese, which I'm going to stay away from for a while because the cheese does not do me any favors. It makes my stomach kind of like, ugh, don't do this to me ever again. And I'm like, but it's good. And I'm like, and then it's like, no, don't do this to me. Why are you like this? I'm like, mac and cheese though. It's delicious, especially with chicken. I love it. But I've also expanded beyond mac and cheese. I mean, yeah, it's another pasta dish that I just had. Like, I made some spaghetti and meatballs, and nowadays I make whenever I cook up the meatballs, I don't use spaghetti or sauce or marinara or anything like that, because the red sauce annihilates me in the worst way possible. Not really in the worst way possible, it just makes my stomach angry and the acid reflux kick in. It's a real chore. Olive oil is the way to go, apparently. Woohoo! Some minced garlic. Amazing. And then you just pour the freshly cooked noodles into there. Not with the whole pasta water. You strain them first, then you put the noodles in. You stir them around and stuff. Technically, the recipe also includes spinach, but I only was able to tolerate the spinach in the recipe once before I'm like, this tastes disgusting and slimy. I probably just cooked the spinach wrong the subsequent times, so that's on me probably. I wouldn't be surprised. But I've expanded. I now regularly enjoy, well, not regularly enjoy, but I will never say no to a good vegetables and gravy, which includes potato, but you know, that's the important part. The important part is that it's delicious and savory, and it has sage and thyme and salt and pepper. It also includes soy sauce. Soy sauce makes a huge difference in that recipe. There was one time I forgot the soy sauce, and it made a huge taste difference. Very important ingredient in that recipe. Same with the hot sauce and the mac and cheese. I always rave about the mac and cheese. There's other recipes that I've expanded on. I haven't touched this one in a while because it's such a and I say this in terms of food tasting. It is a very rich recipe. Basically, you slightly undercook pasta. You have a jar of marinara sauce or two. I can't remember if it's two. And you have some mozzarella cheese. And you basically layer pasta, cheese, red sauce, and the recipe called for using frozen chicken nuggets as the chicken parm substitute. Instead of making the whole chicken parm shenanigans, you just use that. And then you do the layers, and then the chicken nuggets are at the top. Absolutely delicious casserole nightmare thing. Very rich. I like it when it dries out a little bit. I do not like it I do not like my foods practically liquid. It pisses me off, which is really funny, but also not. It makes sense with the veggies and gravy. I try to make the veggies and gravy a little bit thicker, kind of like mashed potato consistency. I haven't made that in a while. I don't think I want to make that though, because it'll require marinara sauce, and marinara, it's very difficult for me to find a good marinara sauce that I can like enjoy. Because the one that I did enjoy, they changed the recipe and the jars. And I'm still pissed about that, by the way. I always can tell. If the label has changed, that means the recipe has changed, and it's likely garbage, and I hate that. I hate that so much. I'm just complaining about people's bad writing decisions and food recipes. 10 out of 10. Well, not food recipes of specific people, just more like complaining about food ingredients. Water is good for the soul. It really is. And I love it. I've been a water enjoyer for pretty much ever since I was no longer needing to have milk, basically. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know exactly when that was. I'll call it at least like 6 or something like that. And the only time I enjoyed milk since then was chocolate milk. Like, that's pretty much it. Otherwise, not a milk enjoyer. And I don't have any specific, like, strong lactose intolerance or anything. Like, my stomach doesn't, like, die from lactose intolerance. It definitely doesn't help or anything like that, but, like, I don't know. I've just always known, okay, milk, not for me. Kind of the same thing with cheese, since it's in the same family. Like, half of the silly, like, what might be seen as picky eating decisions as a kid growing up was literally just me being like, yeah, no, I don't think this works with my stomach or something like that. I probably don't remember making those decisions. I definitely don't remember making those food decisions of, like, being like, oh, no, I don't think I like this specific thing. It doesn't feel good for me. And it's not like what's the wording? It's not necessarily me being picky, it's more like me just listening to my body ahead of time. Of being like, okay, no, this is not necessary. Granted, I do recognize there are many times where I have to, most of the time, it does not warn me until the last possible second when I am starting to feel the, oh no, I haven't eaten something in hours nausea. It is not a pleasant experience, by the way, because if you haven't eaten something in too long and your blood sugar is, like, low, and then you start not wanting to eat more because of, like, the feeling and nothing sounds like it'll taste good. Like, sometimes I just have to go over my own head and be like, okay, it's been a little while. I'm pretty sure I can sense the blood sugar dropping. I can always tell because it's especially, there's, like, a specific feeling and vibe and thought process that tends to kick in when I know I haven't eaten in a while. I'm like, okay, it's time for a snack. Just a small little snack, and then I'll be fine. Well, and most of the time it's like, piece of fruit, like, sometimes it's like, I slowly eat an apple. Although with apples these days, I keep buying really tart apples. I think I need to dial down my tart choices or something. Although it tastes really, really good. I freaking love apples, they're so good. Sometimes I have to balance the apples out with something like salty. I'd balance them out with these oyster soup crackers. I had a very brief, I wouldn't call it a crisis, but I did have some mild to medium sadness regarding a specific brand of meatballs that was discontinued at my local supermarket, and I was like, oh crap, I'm not gonna have these anymore. So I bought the last 2 bags, and I'm like, you know what, I think everybody who buys these will understand why someone bought the last couple of bags, or they might assume that 2 different people bought the last bags, who knows. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to find this specific, I need to make sure that before I eat this again, either I need to make sure I find it again. Lucky for me, the meatballs made a return, just in a larger bag. So now I have to make sure to ration the meatballs every time I cook them now. But I'm very happy to know that they still exist. I did double check and have to ask about, like, I wanted to double check, like, the ingredients and recipe, because I'm like, okay, this isn't a bigger package. Is it just ordered in a bigger package? Or did the recipe change? And am I about to get, like, disappointed and, like, make myself not feel well because the recipe changed on me? I'm quite cautious about what I eat. For, like, stomach reasons. My stomach is a wasteland, and it's only accepts certain things. It doesn't, like, it doesn't cause any, like, backfiring or anything. It just makes my stomach mad, and then I just get the acid reflux kicking up, and it sucks. But I've been avoiding the foods that make it worse, and also the habits that make it worse. Like, I can't chew gum anymore. I don't chew gum because it makes it worse, and I'm like, That makes me sad, because sometimes I just want to chew on something without actually eating it, and nope, can't do that. Not a good idea, hon. Cannot do that. And that really sucks. Oh well. Alright, here's another big stretch while I am walking. Make sure that as you do your big stretch, you say, ooh, big stretch. This is also mandatory when you see your pets do a big stretch. Make sure you reach your arms as high above your head as you possibly can. If you have trouble raising your arms above your head, if you are not aware of any problems, please see some sort of professional or search for probabilities based on any sort of if you had an injury. I mean, I totally understand. Don't do that if you can't like reach yet. It's very good to practice reaching your arms above your head. It will be very useful. Because sometimes you gotta put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Ah yes, party purposes. Oh. Oh my. I apologize in advance. It seems I might have to mute myself again for another coughing fit. Yep, called it. It was necessary. I might have some chips to alleviate this, but I don't know if the chips are going to cause me problems or not. I got some tortilla chips the other day because I was really I want some sort of snackage that is something that I don't have to microwave. I can just put it in a bowl, bam, done. And while it is fun to randomly snack on cereal, there are only a few cereals that I will willingly snack on a regular basis, and I want something salty, not sweet. A lot of cereals are more sweet, not salty. So, tortilla chips. Helps in the salt department. So far, they have been kind to me, so yeah. Haven't had the acid reflux symptoms from them, so that is good. Thank you, tortilla chips, aka corn chips. Are they corn chips? I think they're technically corn chips. But they've been very kind to me. So yay! Very good. Okay. I need to do some damage here and get a little bit of health back, so then I don't die. Because we are not going to add to the non-existent death counter. Yay! Whew. I only allowed that one because I was trying to breathe in some warm air at the exact moment that the cough came through. Cold air does not do me any favors, unfortunately. It hasn't for the past few years. If it's been longer, I haven't... If it was longer, I haven't noticed, but I definitely have noticed in the past, what is it, 3 or 4 years? 3? At least 3. The past 3 winters of me getting cold and being like, oh, breathing cold air makes me cough up my lungs and it hurts. It really does. It sucks. There are some times, too, where I'm like, I get too cold, and I actually have to purposely slightly overheat myself to compensate for that, so then I do not feel the sick and get the cough. Gotta warm up my lungs by making sure my core is warm. Nice and cozy. It is nice to be cozy and warm, though. Very nice to be cozy and warm. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm literally sitting in a couple of blankets right now. I got a blanket over my shoulders, it's so soft. And then I got a blanket over my legs, also soft. Soft blankets are live. I can tell I did not talk much to people over the weekend because the hinge of my jaw is really mad at me for moving so much. Which is really funny to think about because I am pretty damn sure that while no one was home, I had like multiple karaoke sessions. So yeah. Don't know why the hinges are upsetty spaghetti, but you know what? That's fine. That's fine. I can roll with it. I can roll with it. Alright, sitting up straight. Maybe that's what I need. I need to sit up a little straighter. Maybe put myself on the edge of my seat. But that feels nice, actually. That feels really nice. Oh my gosh! For once in my life... Oh wait, no. No, my knees are getting, like... I don't even know how to explain it. Maybe I should get the shoes on. Should I put the shoes on? They're so far away, though. Oh wait, no. No, they're not. I can reach. I can reach. I don't have to... Uh-oh. Oh no. Nope. Well, tally-ho. Ow. That was me falling off my, chair. It's not a long fall. But I wasn't close enough to the house slippers. I say house slippers, but they're technically, they're like bunny slippers, except they're toothless. By toothless, I mean the dragon. I love these things. Ugh. I need to figure out a way to re-heal. I say re-heal, but re-sole them because, unfortunately, for some reason, I walk on my toes. Not like a ballerina toe walking, but close enough. And unfortunately, that is where all the wear and tear is on my shoes. Oh, good heavens, I am so sorry for burping in your ear. Or ears. Or just burping out of your speakers still. Thank goodness y'all can't smell the burps through that. Thank goodness you can't smell things through television. Smell-o-vision. It'd be great to smell the food, though. Like on cooking shows. That'd be awesome. Like if it's really good food. That'd be so sick. Although depending on the cooking show, you will get like... your nose would get destroyed by some of the spices that get put into food. Depending on the food. Or like if someone's like making something with durians. Durians are like known to be the stinkiest fruit on the planet, so... maybe not that. Ooh. I love how I grabbed the toothless slippers specifically for the purpose of making sure that I actually feel comfortable putting my feet on the floor, and then I proceeded to cross my leg so one of the legs was levitating and not on the floor. Why do you not like touching the floor? Yellowfang, tell me, why do you not like touching the floor? I don't know, I say. I don't know why I don't like touching the floor. All I know is... bugs the arches or something. That's my first guess. Maybe it's the arches. Maybe the arches are just angry. That just made me think of a hilarious idea of a world building thing. Go to the angry arches. And it's just like the arches that are in Moab National Park, like Delicate Arch and stuff like that with the rocks. And for some reason they're just like whispering angry things or something like that. That would be what the angry arches are. Or maybe like there's like a divot in the arch that makes it look like angry eyebrows. Either one of those would be an excellent storytelling thing for like a fantasy world or something like that. Angry arches. Or maybe the angry arches are just the aura from people vacationing and getting cranky about whatever vacation shenanigans are going on. Let's see. I'm missing one. I know I have only taken out two. Come here. Come here. Come here, Dusk. Come here. Thank you. Oh, we're doing excellent. We are on pace. Possibly slightly faster than pace. Holy crap. Is there a Steam sale? Nice. I'll have to look at that later, but I'm trying to refrain. Trying not to go overboard. I have a backlog. I haven't touched the backlog much. I need to touch the backlog. Whew. Oh my goodness gracious! Good heavens! Big yawns. Oh, I remembered to stick the square pillow behind me so then I can do the laying back thing because it is needed. Hopefully I don't get a bad case of the EPs. I do not want a bad case of the EPs. We are doing so good. I still love doing this. It's such a silly concept and journey to go on, and I love every single step of it. Plus, this is helping me get real good at talking. Does it always make sense? Probably not. Does it substitute for actually talking to people face to face? No. But it helps. It helps. I can monologue. I can monologue lots and lots and lots. Put me in a supervillain movie role. I will monologue. I will monologue all the evil plans and inevitably get foiled because I shared the evil plan details to the superhero. Instead of being smart like that one guy who did it 35 minutes ago. I don't remember the specific name. I haven't watched or read the entirety of Watchmen comics or any sort of films or any sort of media related to it. I don't know why my voice is doing that. Oh my goodness. Someone is a little bit EP. Because I didn't get enough sleepies. I woke at 6 in the morning for some reason. Probably because of a dream that got me waking up because I got chased or something. I don't know where I was going with that, but that is a true story. Part of the dream, I think we were trying to like solve something or prevent some flooding inside of a cave because there was like this restaurant that like had a gimmick where if you wave water to a certain extent, a lot of water ends up washing in, and like only a little bit usually happens, but then it just ended up washing out and creating a huge wave and knocking people into this one cave. And so we were trying to like find a way to unblock the drainage and find the exit for people. And at one point, I think we were running from something in this dream. This is all a dream, by the way. And like something was coming for us, and for some reason the person next to me practically leaned on me, and I'm like, freaking move, don't pin me in place and get us both caught, dum-dum. You can get caught, but I don't wanna. And I like got so annoyed that I physically moved and woke myself up from the dream. Because I was like, I wanna move. I don't want to get jumped. I'm not in the mood for that. I think I succeeded in getting away. Because then I got like an outside perspective of whatever was going on. Yep. I do genuinely hate when that happens, where your brain is like not letting you go away from whatever threat happens in a dream. I'm like, what is wrong? Why are you doing this? Let me run from the things. Let me run faster, please. I know I can run faster in dreams. I've done it before. You know what's the most fun sensation to happen in dreams? Flying. And for me, flying is very specific. It's either I manage to jump into flight, or I have to flap my arms in the dream. So when I wake up in the morning, it takes me a second to remember No, dear, you cannot fly. You can't just jump and flap your arms and slightly fly higher off the ground and like launch yourself into the air or anything like that. It's less launch and like slowly float up as you're flapping your arms or something like that, but just like, man, I wish I could do that. That'd be real swell. I think that'd be a great compensation for having flying powers, is having to flap your arms to start taking off and gain some altitude. Kind of like a bird, except a little bit more intervals between flaps, because our arms are not capable. I don't think my arms would like me if I tried to do that. Maybe with some training, but I'm pretty sure my right arm would give out on me first, because it is the pissiest thing ever. I say that because I have trouble strumming my guitar, where it like glitches out and like misses a step. It's very obnoxious. Why did I dodge that? I shouldn't have dodged that. Speaking of blood sugar drops, I can feel one coming right now. Unfortunately, because there is a lack of greens in the spaghetti and meatballs recipe that I use, mainly that I skip the spinach because I hate how I think I just keep cooking it wrong. I could just be cooking it wrong, but I don't know. Either way, I might need to grab something like a fruit or a vegetable. I don't want to grab a fruit or vegetable. Not yet, anyway. Nice. I could drink some water. That could be good for me. I'll drink some water while these guys take my HP down. That's not good. That was a bit close for comfort. Hey, we're gonna make it to level 42 tonight. I better not stare too long at the numbers though, because then the time accordion's gonna start stretching out and decelerating time itself while I'm still moving at the same pace. This has happened to me multiple times, and it is physically uncomfortable when the time accordion stretches. If you felt it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically think of all the times where you've had to get through like a class or a work day, and you're sitting, you're doing a bunch of work, you look at the clock and only 15 minutes has passed, and you felt like you've been there for hours. That is what I mean when I say the time accordion is stretched out, and time is moving slower than what you're physically doing. It can be useful when you're trying to get a lot of stuff done within a short period of time, but it is incredibly terrible if you've done all the things that you need to do, but you still have to be there, and you still have like an hour and a half or 2 hours or 3 hours to go before lunch. That sucks. I used to do this thing where I would take my lunch at specifically noon, and I did this because that meant that my morning half of the day was longer than my second half of the day. So I would basically trick my brain into thinking that the second half of the day went faster, when in reality it was just shorter, because I went to lunch about 4.5 hours in instead of flat 4 or something like that. It was incredibly useful, by the way. Just that little half-hour difference made a huge difference. There were occasional times where I would have to take my lunch like a little bit early just because of like timing and stuff, but otherwise I would like, it's high noon, time for me to eat. And it also helped because I was delayed different lunch timing than some of my coworkers at the time, so it ended up working out. So then there was always somebody at a specific desk. So that was good. It was very good. I went completely the wrong direction. Only cons of controlling a game with a joystick is that you can't feel the environment, which means you can't really sense where you're going. Oh. Can't just exactly suss it out and hope and pray. You gotta actually watch where you're going. Whew. Hang on a second. Another big stretch. This time letting my arms stay out and slowly descend. Pulling them back, but not too hard. Pulling them forward, but being careful about not accidentally pinching a nerve. One arm over the head at an angle. That sounds weird out of context, but I think people do this stretch a lot. The other one, which for some reason the left one is a little bit less flexible. Concernicus, yes. Okay, good. We've done some stretches. It's always good to stretch. It's good for your muscles to stretch. You don't want them cramping up, and then if you have to move suddenly, then they just tear because they're cramped instead of stretchy. Yeah, let's go. Slight confession. This isn't like a surprise. It's just basically anytime I say the phrase "good to go," I think of a very specific scene from like one of those movies that it's called Racing Stripes. It's about a zebra that really wants to be a racer, like a horse racer, because he grew up next to like a horse racing place. And like there's this one sequence where the main character, Stripes, I think his name is literally Stripes, goes to like a sort of secret underground racing thing that a bunch of other horses go to. And like his rival is, like he and his rival are gonna race. And like when his rival gets introduced, it's like 10-0, like he's won 10 races and lost 0. It's like 10-0 and good to go, and then give it up for Trenton's Pride. That's literally the horse's name. Anyway. So now every time I say good to go, I think of that scene specifically. That movie was wild, by the way. That cast was ridiculously stacked. Okay, we got... Who did we have in that freaking movie? We had Frankie Muniz, he was a pretty popular actor in the 2000s era. I think he still does some. I think he's gonna be in the reboot of, not the reboot necessarily, but the continuation of Malcolm in the Middle. So he's in that. And then I think, was it Dustin Hoffman that plays the pony? I think he plays the pony that trains Stripes. I think Whoopi Goldberg plays the goat lady, the goat, literally a goat. For some reason the marketing was really heavy on the fact that Snoop Dogg played a dog in the film, and literally all he does in the film is wake up, say some random stuff, and then goes back to sleep. That is literally all that Snoop Dogg's character does in the film. He does nothing else. I don't remember the names of the two actors that play the two flies that are basically your comedy duo. But those two were hilarious. Who else is in that movie? I might have to look this up. Hang on, let's beat up these 3 Dusks and then we'll look up the cast of Racing Stripes. I love when I get on tangents like this, because then I end up looking through a bunch of stuff. But it was one of those movies that was like in that era of just like kids movies with like absolutely stacked casts to get the adults to watch it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we had Hayden Panettiere, which is one of the human characters. Okay, yeah, Dustin Hoffman. Oh, it was David Spade and Steve Harvey. They were the 2 fly characters. They were hilarious. Also, I didn't know Steve Harvey was in this movie. David Spade makes sense because he's done a lot of voice acting. Joe Pantoliano is the goose that shows up. The Clydesdale character, I think he's the one that the announcer in the underground racing scene is Michael Clark Duncan. Rest in peace, if I remember right, he passed a few years back. Oh, Bruce Greenwood, he's the dad character. He's aged a bit. It's still his face, though. That's the best part. It's still his face. Mandy Moore was in it. Joshua Jackson, where have I seen you before, mister? Just ridiculous amounts of people that I'm pretty sure a lot of these actors... When was Patrick Stewart in this? Now I'm really confused, because now there's 2 people cast for character. What the heck? I feel like something broke. But, yeah. Relatively oh! Reggie. Who was Reggie's character? Was Reggie the rooster? Yeah, Reggie was the rooster. He was voiced by Jeff Foxworthy, who was a very popular comedian at the time. I think he's still doing stuff, I think. It's just for... He was the one who did the whole "you might be a redneck" bit, I remember. And then, what was another... There was another thing that was he the host of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? That sounds familiar. I know I heard his name, like, quite a few times in terms of television stuff. But, yeah. Animated movies with ridiculously stacked casts are not something surprising to me. I have seen them many times before. It's really great when the actors who are in the films for the animation, like, full send it and, like, put some effort into the voice acting. I really appreciate when they put effort into the voice acting when they're not primarily voice actors. I love it when they do that. It is beautiful. Absolutely love it. If they phone it in, wow. Just rude. Just rude. In Snoop's case, I think he was high during the time that he was recording those, like, little bits, but why was he so heavily featured in the marketing? His character is barely in the movie. He shows up, says some random shit, boom, done. That's it. And this happens, like, there's, like, multiple scenes of him just chilling. Dog wakes up, says something, that's it. Was he supposed to have a bigger part? I don't freaking know. I don't know. It was a fun movie. I used to watch it, like, way too many times as a kid. There were plenty of movies that I was like, I really like this show. I'm gonna watch it again. And again. And again. And again. And again. Drove my family nuts. But, I mean, that is the nature of kids to watch shows over and over again and stuff. Because it's like, wow, this thing is awesome. I want to enjoy it over and over because it makes me feel happy. And I like the feeling of happiness. It's fun. I remember the Pirates films were also a regular staple in the house. I also remember as a kid when I was really bored and what I would do is to listen to music. I would pick out specific DVDs that I knew had music videos with songs that I really liked, and I would put each of those in one at a time and listen to the music video to, like, listen to the song. And then once I was done with the song, and if any special features I wanted to watch, I would watch those too. But once I was done with the song, I would move on to the next disc. This is actually how I spent at least several hours of my time. Like, Anna and the King was definitely one that was always put in. The one with Jodie Foster and... shoot. I know his name. I can see his face. I don't think I have the right name. Shoot. I know his name. Damn it. It's Jodie Foster and... I'm gonna mispronounce his name too, sadly, because I didn't learn pronunciations properly. Is it Chow Yun-fat? That's the actor. Those two. That was a good movie. That was a fun movie. Really sad. What's funny is it's a drama adaptation of a musical. I got to see the musical version in middle school. That was a trip. Like, one of the songs was like, getting to know you, getting to know all about you. I won't do the whole song, but yeah. That was one of the films, and then, and then The Mask of Zorro, there was a pretty nice, it was definitely a power ballad that was in The Mask of Zorro. The one with Antonio Banderas and Catherine Zeta-Jones specifically, and Anthony Hopkins, that one. I would listen to the music video of that one. The Stuart Little 2, that one also had a music video on, I think what was it on the special features disc, or was it a 2 disc, or just 1 disc? I can't remember. It's been so long since I even watched that movie. But I would listen to the Celine Dion song that was on there. I spent hours. I knew which movies had music videos of songs that I liked, and I would listen to them. It was fun. And when I wasn't doing that, what else would I like? What else? What other crazy things would I do when it was just me? I don't know if I'd write very many. I did end up doing a lot more writing stories when I was like in middle school, especially. I know I grew up playing with Barbies, so I'd sometimes play with Barbies, make them go on adventures. I still have these little dog figurines that are made, little plastic toy dogs, that I would also have them act out all sorts of crazy stories. It's part of the fun. If you were a kid that played with random toys and imagination, you know exactly what kind of dramatics that you'd get up to. Trials and all sorts of things, murder. Oh, classic. Kids enjoy a little dose of peril. That sounds crazy out of context. But if you still remember that as a kid, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They crave peril. In safe environments, of course. People enjoy playing around and telling stories, whether they are the actors themselves or whether they're just watching the stories play out. It's the reason the entertainment industry is so big, is because they do a lot of storytelling and stuff. Very big. That's why video games are so big too, is because also a lot of them tell stories. I don't remember exactly which game there. Was it Legend of Zelda and or Super Mario that started the storytelling focus in games? I can't remember. I think Ocarina of Time was definitely part of that big push, but it might not be the one that kicked off the focusing on story just as much of the gameplay mechanics. But they definitely exploded, because when there's a good story, it's a lot of fun to play it, because then it gives you more motivation other than just, I have skills. Like, skills are fun, but it's also fun to sometimes play the campaign or something. I think that's what they call it. They call it the campaign or the main story. Lots of fun. Oop, I need to stretch. Well, it's less I need to stretch. It's more like I need to straighten out my spine. Oh my gosh. My spine. Please, for the love of all things good, reconnect. I beg. Okay, are we back? Are we back, gang? Oh my gosh, please tell me it didn't break the YouTube side of things. Well, you know what? That's okay. We're still making progress. Let me do a little fixer-upper on my monitor, because my monitor is broken. It's not like physically broken, it's just being a brat. It's just like, oh, you disconnected, you changed screens for more than 2 seconds, how dare you? And I'm like, no, you know what, you don't have to complain. What's the difference between this and the thing I have? Okay, let's close those. I kind of want to look at my messages. Oh my gosh. I'm checking my group chat since my app decided to break again. Let me just send a reply. There were googly eyes involved. I don't want to schedule anything. Don't do that to me. Banned. Banning the chat shenanigans, not that. That was interesting. Now I've completely lost track of whatever I was talking about. Yay! Oh well, that's fine. Ooh! Nice. 13:30. Oh no, now I can't keep track of time. I'm just kidding. I know how to keep track of time. Oh, what a wondrous world we live in. It's actually quite fun. Oh no, I looked in one. I completely looked in a random direction and bam, I got distracted. Funny thing, I started off my morning, like, I take a little bit of time to wake up, so I make sure that the latest I sleep in is 9 AM. But it still takes me a little bit of time to actually fully wake up. But if I try to wake up earlier, my brain just gets really cranky and I feel like my face is the other grindstone. So it's not fun. Anyway, so sometimes I wake up and yes, sometimes. Focus, please. Long story short, I woke up to one of my other favorite YouTube channels to watch is It Must Be Kate, because the hosts on there sometimes they watch, well, they do watch series and make commentary on it, especially the series that are kind of sucky. And they recently posted or reposted their commentary on Vampire Knight Guilty, which is basically the second half of Vampire Knight that has been made. And I basically spent the morning laughing so hard because their commentary on it is hilarious. Definitely worth a watch. Totally worth a couple of hours. They had to do like a full repost of the entire thing because of copyright shenanigans, and they also had to send some episode clips into the Wiggle dimension for that. But it's really good. It's really good. Totally worth watching. I love silly, like, friends watching shows and making fun of them in like a lighthearted way. It's fun. It's lots of fun, and it's just so silly. But that was how I spent a good chunk of my morning. That, and of course breakfast, supplements. Switch those in that order because I have to have the supplements on an empty stomach so that they take better. Especially the iron. Iron is very important because it helps with your blood cell production. It's probably the reason why I enjoy chocolate so much, because it has iron. And it's delicious. Mostly because it's delicious, but also because iron. I don't know. Ah. Chocolate, my beloved. May you never be poisonous to me. And may I never be poisoned by my beloved chocolate. Alright. The good stuff. The really good stuff. My! Oh my goodness gracious! Oh. Big yawns for me, I guess. I just thought of a silly idea. I should stare at the art style of Kingdom Hearts. Like, specifically the key art style that they do for a lot of the KH posters and stuff. I should stare at it for a really long time. And then figure out how to, and then after studying it for a while, redraw my profile picture in that style. If I pay attention to the principles of the art style, I will be able to replicate it, but I have to pay so close attention. It looks like there's some thinning and thickening of lines. It'll take some time. Did I already take him out? Well, that was fast. I wasn't even looking. I was staring at Roxas's face. You can't see Roxas's face because I put the kitty cat over the top of him because I thought it was funny and then I just never left it. I mean, I can remove it, but I kind of like having the kitty cat there. It makes it very clear that this is very distinctly my footage. It's too bad that it doesn't fade along with the transition though, that's the only con. Oh. Ow. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. All is good. How are we doing? Oh, we're doing great. We're rolling. We are rolling. Oh my goodness. Ow. What the heck? Okay. Cool. Thanks, Random Pain. I appreciate it. Ow again. Nice. Ah! Greetings are fun. Alright, bring it on. Bring it on. Alright, nice. Alright, cool. We're gonna get below 1,000 in, hopefully this next strike, as long as I pay attention to the A's. Oh no, there's something bugging me, and I need... Well, I want to fix it. I hate it when this happens, when I got something that bugs me, and it changes my... Oh no. Sorry about that. That's on me. That is entirely on me. Alright, okay, let's see. Oh my goodness. I kept spamming triangle expecting to attack, but that's not how it works. We're not playing Birth by Sleep today, we're playing KH2. This reminds me of the early days when I was learning to drive, the early days of me driving a car. When I was learning to drive, I ended up driving, for the driving lessons, it was a different version of a car. It was a different car than the one that I would practice drive with supervision, like at home. And then there was also, like I practice drove with a variety of vehicles and stuff. But what was really funny is that when I did do my driving test, like we were able, I won. This was when they allowed driving schools to do the DMV's job of like doing the driving test, which I'm kind of glad of. I'm very glad of actually. And it was even more funny because it was a different branch of my driving school. And it was the same instructor that was present for my first drive. My first drive was kind of abysmal. Like, he had to use the passenger brake in the driving car, which was kind of embarrassing. But I'm very grateful. So he got to see the improvement between my very first drive and when I actually did the drive to get my license. And then I passed first try, and it was great. Yay! It was really great. And then for subsequent drives, I made sure that if I wanted to listen to the radio, I had that thing set up and I did not touch it. I only looked at the road. Because that was when I was starting out and I knew myself well that if I got distracted, that would not go well. So I would always make sure my music and stuff was set up and I never touched my phone or anything like that. I still avoid touching my phone in driving situations. It's only like in emergency situations and when I'm completely stopped at a stop sign or I like pull over stoplight. And even then I just check and don't check for very long just because I'm like, I don't want to get distracted because I will. I know myself well. I know I have the ability to get very distracted and I do not want to play chicken with that. I don't play games with my distraction when it comes to driving a... How big is it? A 1-ton death machine? I don't know. Probably isn't. I don't know what cars weight. I've done pretty well in terms of driving, thank goodness. I don't know how to do stick shift. I understand the concept of switching gears. I understand that when you switch gears, you have to push the clutch when you switch, and I think there's some braking involved, but not like too hard of braking, just like a slight brake tap and pushing the clutch as you switch to the next gear. I think that's how it works, but you also have to make sure that you're at the correct speed of the gear to shift into gear without it causing problems. That is my basic understanding, and I don't know if I'm fully correct, but I'm pretty sure that sounds about right. But would I be able to do any sort of gear shifting in a manual car, like, super quickly? No, I would have to practice a lot. It would be extra hilarious, because it would mean I would have to use my right hand, the one that stutters. I say it stutters, but it just has a slight motor difficulty. It's not like a major motor difficulty, it's just it does not have as much training in the fine motor skills as my left hand does, which is really exceptionally hilarious because it is my primary hand that I use for using my computer mouse. In all honesty, my left hand mostly does writing. It doesn't do much else. But it is the dominant hand. If I trained it, I could probably write with my right hand, but for the moment, it will look like a first grader's handwriting. Unless I concentrate really hard, but it causes some mild physical pain, just because it's not used those muscles in that way. Yeah. Oh boy! What was it up? I have Alright, excellent. We're making great progress today. We're gonna make it to level 42 at the end of the stream. Let's go. We're pushing through to the end, by the way, regardless of time. Just because I wanna get to the next level, dang it. I wanna make some progress. And shoot, when we hit level 42, that means we're like 8 levels or so away from being at level 50. Which I say, in terms of level numbers, we're halfway there. In terms of XP, we are not halfway there. We'll have to be at 1.4 total million XP. 1.4 million total XP to be considered close to half there. And even then, it's like 2.875 or something like that. I can't remember the exact number it is for maxing out levels in this game, but I know it's like 2 million at least. So, and I think I saw somebody's level 99 run where they had been going through the menu and it said like the total XP was 2.875,875 or something like that. So 2,875,875. It's gonna be a while before we're halfway there, like in terms of XP. But won't it be great? Won't it be fantastic? Shoot, it'll be fantastic when we hit level 50. I'm so stoked to hit level 50. Whoa, okay. I mean, I don't mind the HP drop, but wow. Actually, let's take a peek at what we're at right now. Yeah, we're not close. We are about 1/5 of the way, almost 1/5 of the way to 1 million. So, would that be 1/10 if it's 2? If it's 2 million, it's 1/10. But then we got the 2.8 involved, so let's see. 2.8. Would I say it's 115? I don't know. If it was like flat 200,000, it would probably be... I'm not in the mood to do this with my brain. I'm getting the calculator. We're pulling out all the stops of the bingo card. That still looks really ugly. One day I will make that bingo card look pretty, but it is not today. Oh, this would actually be easier if it was reduced fractions. 14. 200,000, oh wait, yeah. Yeah, 200,000, so would it be 1/14th? Let me divide 1 divided by 14 real quick. Trust the process, okay? So 1/14th is like 0.0714 or something like that. Hopefully I remember. 0714. Yep, 1/14th. It is 1/14th. I love math and I love my ability to extrapolate from that. I love life. All I had to do, literally all I had to do was just flip the fraction, that's all. Because it's technically 14/1, so 1/14th. So we'll be approximately 1/14th of the way done. Possibly 1/15th since that is a smaller fraction. That was actually my mental estimate too. Let's go! It might sound crazy, but y'all have no idea how joyous I am whenever I solve a math problem. It's like solving a puzzle. It is very gratifying to solve a puzzle, especially when it's a numbers puzzle. I love solving puzzles. Oh my gosh. Whenever I was like learning math, at first I would be like, okay, what the heck is going on? But once my teacher taught me what was going on and how to solve the thing, oh boy, I was a nutcase. I had so much fun. If I was like a little bit more comfortable with myself, I would probably be giggling maniacally during tests, but also I probably wouldn't be because I'm pretty sure my teacher would be like, girl, please, we're trying to have a test. Shut up. She wouldn't say that. That math teacher was really cool. Actually, I had some pretty decent math teachers. There was only one math teacher that I had trouble learning from, and I felt really stupid, and it was in the early stages of Common Core learning, which I struggled with that curriculum so badly. It was so bad. I was like, oh, that's what we're working with? After I realized, oh, we're working with quadratic formula and stuff, I'm like, where are we going with this? Because I know we were working with triples and exponential increase and stuff like that, but I didn't quite get it until it was actually put together. I'm like, oh, and then I got really mad because I felt stupid the entire time because I'm like, I did not connect that shit at all. I didn't connect shit. There are no dots to connect. It's like those connect the dots drawings that keep happening, at least these days, where it doesn't actually make a picture, it just makes a blob. And then someone has to tell you what the blob is, and then even then you're just like, what the frick is this? You know? Yeah, I have a lot of rage for that specific thing. Yeah. But otherwise, my math teacher experiences were great. That was just one time, honestly. Otherwise, it was fun. I used to annoy one of my math teachers, or maybe I don't think this math teacher was actually annoyed. I think he assumed that I was just hungry because I kept eating pretzels in his class. Like every single time, without fail. I would pack a crap ton of pretzels, by the way, for my lunch. But I would always be like halfway through the bag by the time lunch hour hit. And I would just snack. I mean, I get my work done, so that's probably why there wasn't any trouble with it. And he was probably like, yeah, there's probably a reason this nutcase is eating a ton of pretzels in my class. Partially it was out of habit, and partially it was just hungry. And hey, I was never cranky during those classes, so it worked out. And then I think my last couple of years of math, we were in another building that snacks were a no-no, so I did not bring out the snacks during those. I would just drink my water, and that was. Oh, good heavens! Sorry about that. I wouldn't snack during those classes just because we were told, hey, don't break out the snacks in this classroom, in this building specifically, and we're like, okay. Now that I'm thinking about it, did I ever take the stairs in that building? Did I ever need to take the stairs, or did I always take the no, did I take the elevator? I don't remember now. I'm pretty sure I took the stairs. That's interesting. I have some weird vague memories of that. This is also the same building where I had my high school Spanish courses, which were very fun, by the way. Very, very fun. I enjoyed those. There was like maybe a couple of days where I was having a crappy day, and that was literally just because somebody had pissed me off and I was just already not in a good mood. And it was just because a person pissed me off. That's it. It wasn't even because of the class. I was just mad. I was just in a bad mood. I was just like, ah! I was on my last straw on that day. And then I ended up, my schedule ended up shuffling around a little bit, and so I ended up in the same class. Like, I was a junior, and I was in the same class as a couple of seniors. We had a blast. We were silly. It was so fun. Great times. It was a little bit jarring to not be with my friends that were in the same year as me, but at the same time, it's like, you know what, this is fun. I like this. This is great. Y'all are chill. So it was cool. Plus, we were in the same, like, we were still in the same, like, Spanish year level, so it worked out. Lots of fun. Good times. Very good times. Oop, gotta straighten up my posture, so then my spine doesn't get angry with me, and I don't give myself more back problems, and I should probably put my shoes on the floor instead of folding like a pretzel. Pretzel shenanigans. Maybe I should make my core do the work instead of the back, but the back is like, I'm gonna do all the work because the core ain't doing anything. It's not even waking up. Am I gonna have to do that thing again where I do a plank for like an entire back and forth run? I'll do that after I get to level 42. We'll celebrate we'll celebrate getting to level 42 by doing a plank and just trying to beat up the Dusks as fast as possible during the said plank. I've done it before, I will do it again. That was very funny. I think I also, during that, I had to look up and, like, there's a limit to how far you can tilt your head up. It's because, you know, doing a plank on the floor. I love wireless controllers. They are such a great innovation. Anyway, so I was also, while doing the plank, fighting the dust, I was also kind of blind because I had to look above my glasses lenses. Which I think I've said before, if I don't use my glasses, everything is blobs. Just blobs. Very pretty, colorful blobs, but blobs. And they all blend into each other. And it's magical. Whee! Oh. That's a 4. Huh. I don't know why, but I was like, wait a minute, wasn't I just at like 1000-ish XP just a moment ago? Okay, this guy is gonna get wrecked because he's taking too long to get wrecked. He's not giving me enough damage, and I want my XP now. Sometimes you gotta accept the force to make the time go faster. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you wait a little bit longer. You know what? I'm thinking of rewatching a series that I've already watched like twice. I've already watched it twice. The first time I watched it through Netflix, and it actually skipped one of the episodes because mainly it was mostly kind of a spoof joke episode review recap. I don't know why they did that. I guess they tried to use that in a narrative sense for what happened in the light novels, I guess, but I don't know. Hang on a second. There's something wrong with my shoe and it's pissing me off. Crisis averted. I really need to resole these. Oh my gosh. Both of them. I just need to take out the cushioning at the bottom, like the inside, replace it with some fresh stuff, maybe even slightly thicker stuff, and then replace the fabric at the bottom. It could be done. I could repair my shoes. My slippers specifically. Ooh, I could go for some ice cream right now. This is not the time of day to get ice cream. Not the TOD for ice cream. Woohoo! Uh-oh. Guess what I've gotta wake up? I've gotta wake up! My desktop again. Wake up! Because we're getting close, which means I have to update my overlay. Oh, thank goodness I don't have to type in the password again. I was gonna get real annoyed if I had to type it all over again. Oh, jeez, that's way too close to the 1 second. That was a little too close for comfort to the door. Yikes. I wouldn't have lost much progress if I died, but, it would take all of my willpower to, not, fight the boss. Yeah. So we're not gonna fight the boss. So, yeah. We're gonna Ugh, that was a little close. Okay, we're fine. We're cool. I have a feeling. I have a sneaking suspicion. I'm gonna save. Don't worry, we're not done yet. We are not done. Not. I just want to make sure that I don't lose the past couple hours of progress. I just have this feeling in my bones that I need to save it. Oh my gosh. Guess what I did? Guess what I did? I deleted it, didn't I? I deleted it. I deleted it, didn't I? Ha! I called it! This is why I have multiple save files. For this exact reason. Why did I press triangle? Because my brain says, oh, press triangle. I knew it. I knew that was gonna happen. Okay, cool. We're good. Alright, we're cool. I had a feeling in my bones. I'm like, something's gonna happen tonight. I don't know what it is. It's nearly accidentally deleting my save file again. This is why I have the spare. The spare is excessively important. That did take a little bit out of our time to get closer to level 42, but frankly, worth it. Because now I've saved my progress, and in case of stupid, I can correct my mistake. I don't intend to do stupid, but I do not see myself above doing dumb things. I will always anticipate that I am capable of doing dumb things. And that is perfectly fine, as long as they're funny and don't cause a lot of damage. That was scary. That's why we have duplicates of our save files, so we don't delete them by accident by pressing the triangle. Yay! We are on an excellent pace. Woo! Alright, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! Bring it on! Bring it on! I think... Okay, after these three, we'll know for sure. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Alright. Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect. 42 XP remaining till level 42. That is beautiful. Oh, that is so freaking beautiful. I love it. That is... amazing. Fun fact about the 42 in my username. Technically, I made my username in the era where using numbers in usernames was pretty common if you wanted a specific username and stuff. So I was like, okay, I want to pick a number. What number do I want? 42. Because at the time that I think Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy had come out. So like the whole 42 thing was going around and stuff like that. I hadn't read it, by the way. Of course, Answer to Life, Universe, and everything. And I thought, you know what? That's actually kind of cool to put in. But also, this is a more important fun fact. 42 is just my favorite number. It's literally just my favorite number. That is one of the main reasons. Hey, we're here! Let's go! Let's update the overlay and break it for half a second. But genuinely, it is my favorite number. It's also the result of my favorite calculation. Which I don't know if I want to say what the favorite calculation is. It's 6 times 7. I was ahead of the curve. Did I miss something? Oh my gosh. Wait, did I? No, I didn't. Okay. Thank goodness. I didn't miss something. I got scared. I thought I missed something. But I didn't. Alright. Did it go through? Oh, shoot. I gotta refresh the overlay. Where are you? I gotta refresh it because it broke. Why do you always break? Stop breaking. Okay, give it a sec. Yay! There we go. The marquee's working again. It always takes like half a second for it to work. Yay! But yeah, it's the result of my favorite calculation. 6 times 7 is 42, and it's just my favorite number. Why is it my favorite number? I don't freaking know. It's just my favorite. I like it. It's not even to do with hitchhikers. It's just been. And it's stuck with me, and even if I had the opportunity to choose the name Yellowfang by itself, I don't think I ever could, because the 42 part is very integral to my soul. It's my name. It is part of my name. Plus, also, I chose the name Yellowfang based on a book character, and I cannot do that by it. I don't think I can do that by itself. So, Yellowfang 42 it is. And we're at level 42! Let's go! We made it! How much XP do we have left? Out of curiosity? 195,064. We got 18,635 remaining. Peachy! Nice. Alright. Let's keep this ball rolling just a little bit longer, because we've got the time, and also I'm ahead of pace, actually. I'm ahead of pace. Let's punch out some numbers! Let's go! Oh, we're on the uneven numbers again! We're on the uneven numbers. On the bright side, though, it gives us the opportunity to possibly have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the remaining till the next level. So you know what? I'm not gonna complain all that much. Not too much anyway. But it does mean there will always be a number left over. Because last I checked, I don't think... wait, no. Let me double check that. 8, 16, 32, 40, 48, 56. Yeah, no, I don't think 8 does not result in any uneven number calculations last I checked. So, yeah. There will always be one left over. Always. There will always be at least one left over. Between 1 and 7, actually. It will always be an uneven number. I'm just kidding, it won't always be that. I'm glad I've chilled out about the uneven numbers. Oh, this is good, this is good. We've made it to the next level. We're making progress. It's a pretty good stream. We only had one hiccup. Knock on the piano wood. Let me knock on it real quick. Bap, bap, bap. It's a pretty good evening. I like it. I like it a lot. Why did I pause? This isn't a PS3. I don't need a pause buffer. Gosh, I still remember the load times on the PS3. My roommate in college let me borrow her PS3 to play my Kingdom Hearts games, and of course I can't remember if she had a copy of her own, or if I just was like, yeah, you can play mine too, and stuff. I can't remember. I don't remember. Gosh, it's been so long. But I do remember when I was first playing Birth by Sleep, and when I first beat the games. The pause buffer I would have to do for the D-Links to load was nightmarish. I think that was also a thing that speedrunners had to do whenever they switched to drive forms when they were speedrunning KH2 on the PS3. I think they had to do some pause buffers to let it load. I think this was also a case with KH1 and using summons too, because they had to pause buffer to let the summon load, because it would take longer if they didn't do the pause buffer. It's amazing how much things have changed. Hello, hello, hi. It's a puppy. Hello. Oh my goodness. It's a good puppy. Hi. Hi, do you want a place to sit? You can hang out with me. It's a good pup. Oh my goodness. I love my dogs. In case you can't tell. I love them so much. They make me happy. They're very like, they have soft fur, and they're also just very sweet. So they make me happy. Oh boy. We got to 42 and we're going for then some. I want to go for then some just because. We'll get about 5,000-ish XP, but that's also within a 2-hour, 30-minute time frame. I'm not too worried about the 4s this time around. Not this time. We are enjoying our time here. I might actually rewatch that one series that oh yeah, I was talking about that and I completely forgot. Basically, the second time I watched it, I discovered there was an episode that I missed that wasn't originally on the Netflix, or I don't know why they skipped it. It was okay. It was just like a review episode or something like that, and I'm like, alright, it's cool, it's chill. It was the Gun Gale Online alternative series. It was pretty funny. The first season I enjoyed quite a bit. The second season, it was a tournament arc and stuff. Like, I mean, of course, that's kind of how a lot of these ones are. But I don't know, it just didn't, it felt different. I mean, not just in terms of animation, but it felt like it was trying to recapture the emotional stakes and stuff. But it didn't quite have the same stakes feeling as it did the first arc. Which is understandable. Obviously, you're not going to just replay the same stakes, because that would be ridiculous. I definitely recommend the first season. The second season is just like, okay, this is more like if you really enjoyed the series. It was a pretty interesting concept, and I wish that they did more with the second half of the second season, where they have the a bunch of the different squads try to test out a new gameplay thing against some very advanced NPCs. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with that once you like learn about how it goes at the end. Like, I really wish that they'd done a little bit more, because then it's just like, oh, this is another way that the characters experience the games. I think one of the biggest strengths of the first season was showing how other people use the VR full dive stuff to like deal with their problems in life. Because the main character, Karin, she is very, very tall and has a huge complex about it, and she would love to be like short and cute and stuff like that. So her friend is like, hey, why don't you try out VR? And she tries out a bunch of VR games, and they keep giving her tall avatars and stuff. And she's just like, and freaks out because it like stresses her out. And she finally finds one, which is Gun Gale, and it gives her a short avatar that's like short and cute, and she's like, yay! And ends up learning and having a lot of fun with it, and cutting loose and stuff, and being crazy and having fun with it, like just that outlet and stuff. I thought that was a really fun and compelling story to tell. And then one of the friends that she meets in game also is using the game to let off a bunch of steam about like all the stresses in her life and things like that. And also allowing herself to be a complete lunatic. Pito's a scary character, but she's really funny and entertaining to watch. That first arc definitely killed it with the dramatic stakes. The first season, not the first arc. I keep calling it the first arc, but it's not. Because technically, is it technically 2 arcs in one? Because there's like there's like 2 tournaments that the characters go through. I kind of think of it as like the first half and second half. Fun stuff, lots of fun stuff. If I do watch it though, I'll plug my headset into my PS4 so then I don't make a disturbance while listening to the show. Technically, it's not too big of a problem. Like I have my television at like volume 4 right now, and I can hear it pretty damn well. But in also fairness, I am playing a video game, and video games just tend to be way louder than movies and TV shows on consoles. This is a regular occurrence. Wee. Alright, cool. Cool. I love how I've just basically kept going. Oh, man. But it's so fun. This is very calming. It's a very relaxing exercise. And I think it's a good exercise in dealing with repetitive tasks. I quite enjoy repetitive tasks where once I learn the patterns of stuff, then I can just repeat the pattern over and over and over again. And it's great. Whee! Alright, let's see. We're doing good. I think... Let's see. I think we're gonna beat up these 10 and then... Ooh, but we could get below... Let's get below 1800. How about 18,000, I mean. I'm so used to working... It's been a while since I've worked with 4 digits, but I still remember the 4-digit era. I miss the 4-digit era, but it is what it is. We're doing grand. Let's get below 18,000 XP before we say, yeah, let's go. Oh, what a great start to the week. I went on a crap ton of rambles, too. Wow. It's great. It'll be good. It'll be good. Life is excellent. I finally put away a blanket, by the way. There's a blanket that used to sit in my car for my dog to chill in the back. But I was like, you know what? I need to wash that thing. So I did. I washed it. And then after I dried it, of course, the dryer can't completely fully dry it, and I don't want to fry the blanket, so... it's not because of, like, drying thing. It's literally just because blanket big. It's just one of those things. So I hang it on the door, and I've left it hung on the door for, like, months. And finally, yesterday, I was like, you know what? I want to be able to properly, fully close my door all the way. This isn't usually a problem of not being able to close my door, but I want the ability. Because there's a big blanket in the way. I want to close my damn door. So I finally removed the blanket, folded it up, and put it away in my closet, and thank God I have room. Oh my gosh, am I gonna have to fight somebody? Oh my gosh. I think I need to fight something. Okay, I got jump scared by the wind. I didn't see anything though, that's the weird part. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bone snatching plot involved where my dogs sometimes they bark on purpose to get the other dog's attention, and then once the other dogs are distracted they steal the bone. That has happened countless times. Clear the throat. Make sure. Oh, hey, water. I've only gone through one water bottle this stream. I can never anticipate how much water I'm going to drink within a stream. Like, cause sometimes I drink like 2 water bottles throughout the entire stream, and then sometimes I only drink 1, like today. Whew. Alright, we have made excellent progress. I am keeping my finger away from the triangle button. What a journey! We've made it to level 42! I'm not doing that. I'll stick with voice sound effects because it's way more hilarious. Alright. That is going to do it for the stream tonight. Thank you all so much for stopping by, or coming by, or rewatching the VOD if you happen to do that. If you enjoyed the stream on the YouTube side, hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notifications for when I go live. I also do posts on YouTube to notify you, in case you just want to monitor that. And on the Twitch side, if you enjoyed the stream, hit the follow button. That will give you the ability to get notifications for when I go live on Twitch, if that is your preferred mode of viewing. If you don't want to do either of those and just want to see and anticipate whether or not you want to actually follow, I am on Twitter and Blue Sky. Both are microblogging websites, and both at Yellowfang42. And I also post random other silly things, mostly on Twitter. It's mine there. I was there first, dang it. But you can follow those, and you will also get possible updates for when... Not possible updates. You'll know when I'm going live on those too. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up. We've made some progress. I don't know whether or not I'm going to do a half and half with the leveling and the birth by sleep thing again. That was pretty fun. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to play it by ear for tomorrow. I don't know why I'm anticipating making waffles. I still have like 6 waffles left. I don't know why I think I need to make more waffles. I know where they are. But, thank you so much for watching. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, night? Either way, have a good one. Sending you to the end stream screen. Nice. That is not how I should end the stream. Alright, have a good one. Bye.